Would the Rav please remind us what ta'arovet is and what it is not? When is it mutar to have it in one's possession during Pesach and to use it after Pesach? And are crumbs or small amounts of hametz ever mitzdarafim?
The Talmud states explicitly that perurim, crumbs, are betelim me'alehem. So if you have small crumbs of something, even if you know it's chametz on the floor, you're not hayav to remove them. If it's the kind of thing that you would frequently ignore, then you're not hayav to remove it. It's not considered hametz in your possession. It's batel me'elo, because it's something that people normally just sweep up and throw away. So it has no din of hametz. It's not considered hashuv. It's not considered of any significance. With regards to ta'arovet, there are two opinions with regards to ta'arovet, because the question is this: if you have a substance, if you have hametz, before Pesach, you have hametz before Pesach, and this Pesach was in your possession during Pesach, because let's say you forgot about it, you didn't know it was in your possession, and it remained in your possession throughout Pesach. So now it is hametz she'avar alawa Pesach. So the halacha is that hametz she'avar alawa Pesach you have to get rid of. You can't use it. You'd have to throw it away. However, what happens if that hametz now got mixed up with other things? So now it's not hametz gamur she'avar alawa Pesach. It's now tarovet hametz she'avar alawa Pesach. That it seems from it certainly can be understood from the Rambam, at least from the lashon of the Rambam, that is the gzera of hametz avar alawa Pesach does not apply to a ta'arovet of hametz. In other words, if it got mixed up with other things after Pesach, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you had breadcrumbs in your possession, which is obviously hametz gamur, breadcrumbs, and you forgot about them. They were in the cupboard, you didn't see them, and after Pesach you discovered them. And now these breadcrumbs were mixed up in some other food with other things. And so you have some food here, some kind of a spread or some kind of, I don't know what, some kind of a dish in which there are some breadcrumbs mixed in with other things, and you don't really see the breadcrumbs by themselves. You can understand from the Rambam that the Gzera does not apply to that Tarovet now, because the thing that was in your possession during Pesach is no longer the same thing. It's now in a different form, so it has a new name, it has a new reality to it. There are those who understand that the fact that it now became mixed up after Pesach doesn't change the fact that it was Hametz Shabbat Ala Pesach, and you still must get rid of it. You cannot use it or have it in your possession after Pesach. With regards to this particular question, which is Midivrei Soferim, not Min HaTorah, because the whole question of Hamesh She'avar Alav Pesach is Midivrei Soferim. It's a knas, it's a fine, so that people will not choose to keep on the side somewhere some hametz that they're particularly fond of. So we tell them, even if you do this, it won't help you, because after Pesach it's still asur. Seeing that this is a knas midivrei soferim, and you can understand this halacha as Rambam, as it seems that you can understand it from Rambam, and this is how Morivo Rabbi Arav Yosef Gachech understood the Rambam's understanding of this halacha. So I think in that case one can be mekel. Whereas something which was a ta'arovet hametz, but it's clearly hametz, but it's not pure hametz, like beer, for example, beer made from barley. Which is not pure hametz. It's not pure hametz, by the way, is only a few things. Pure hametz is bread, biscuits, crackers, pasta, and a few other items of that sort only. That's pure hametz. That's hametz gamur. Anything else is not hametz gamur. Anything else is tarovet hametz. So beer is tarovet hametz because there's lots of water and other things in there. But there's also a considerable amount of material that comes directly from the barley. There, I think, you cannot understand the Rambam in that way. In other words, you cannot understand that, seeing that something was before Pesach was tarovet chametz, and now after Pesach it's still in the same state, it's still tarovet chametz, means that the Knas does not apply to that. To that, I think the Knas does apply, even according to Rambam. I think it's possible to understand that Rambam was of the view that something that was in one state before Pesach and now is in a different state, it loses that shem, it loses that label of Chametz Avar Lava Pesach. But if something was Chametz all along, you have to get rid of it. This is the simple understanding of the Mishnah in Masechet Pesachim, which talks about Elu Overim Befesach, or Bepesach, and talks there about Shechar Hamadi, for example, which is beer made of dates, but into which grains of barley were added and soaked in this beer, and one is over al the isur of bali re bali maseh, by having this in his possession, according to many of the mefarshim, at least, not all. So anyhow, with regards to such things like beer, I don't think that one can rely on that understanding or that approach. With regards to something that was chametz before Pesach and then got mixed up with other things, I think one can be mekil.
Thank you, Rabbi Bar-Hayim. We would like to encourage our viewers to share these videos with friends and send in your responses. We would also like to suggest the following opportunity to our viewers. If you identify with Rabbi Bar-Hayim's message and would like to sponsor or dedicate a video interview with the rabbi in honor or memory of a loved one, if you would like to obtain Birkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael or invite the rabbi for a speaking engagement, please email us at office@machonshilo.org. If you are inspired by Rabbi Bar-Hayim's message and would like to get involved in Torah Eretz Yisrael activities in your local area, please fill out the relevant form by going to the link which appears on the screen.